We continue learning workbook, page 132, with the following. Graph f of x equals -3, parenthesis, x plus 4, close parenthesis, squared plus 2, including its axis of symmetry. State the vertex and equation of the axis of symmetry. Okay, so this is very similar to the previous problem. We're going to go through the same steps. The first thing we want to do is find h and k. Now, in the previous problem, I used the method look at the equation to find h and k. So in this problem, I'm going to use the compare to the vertex form method of finding h and k. This way, each method gets equal representation. Okay, so by comparing the vertex form to the equation provided, we see that a equals -3, k equals +2, and -h equals +4. Negative h equals 4. Divide by -1 on both sides, we get h equals -4. All right, so we now know that a equals -3, h equals -4, k equals 2. All right, let's use that information to now create the graph of our parabola. Step 1, find h and k, put them in a table. All right, well, we found that h was equal to -4, k was equal to 2, and we put them in an xy table in the middle row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the middle row, so -4, 2, and this v represents vertex. Step 2, find a and note its denominator. All right, well, a equals -3. -3 is not a fraction, but we can write it as 1. -3 over 1. And therefore, we find that the denominator of a is 1. How do we use that? Well, we use that value to add and subtract from this value to get the other values of x in our table. For example, -4 plus 1 is -3. -3 plus another 1 is -2. Going up the table, we'll subtract. -4 minus 1 is -5. -5 minus 1 is -6. So now we have all of our x values. So, plug in each x to find y. We know that f of x is the same as y, so our equation is y equals -3, parentheses, x plus 4, close parentheses, squared plus 2. So let's put in our various values of x to find the corresponding values of y. We'll do this in pairs, just as we did in the previous problem. Okay. If x equals -6, then y equals -3, parenthesis, -6 plus 4, close parenthesis, squared plus 2, which is -3 times a -2 in parentheses squared plus 2. Following order of operations, we do the exponent first. So we get -3 times 4 plus 2, -12 plus 2, which is -10. All right, now we're going to do the symmetric x value, x equals -2. If x equals -2, then y equals -3, parenthesis, -2 plus 4, close parenthesis, squared, plus 2. -3 times +2 squared, plus 2. Exponents come first, and 2 squared is 4. So we have -3 times 4 plus 2, -12 plus 2, which is -10. All right, we got the same result for our symmetric values of x, so that gives us an indication that we're probably doing this correctly. All right, 2 down, 2 to go. Now let's plug in an x is -5 and -3 and see what we get. Okay, if x equals -5, then y equals -3, parenthesis, -5 plus 4, close parenthesis, squared plus 2. -3 times a -1 in parentheses, squared plus 2. A negative squared makes a positive, so this is -3 times +1 plus 2, -3 plus 2, which is -1. All right, let's try the other x value. If x equals -3, then y equals -3, parenthesis, -3 plus 4, close parenthesis, squared plus 2. So we get -3 times +1 squared plus 2, we still get a positive 1 result here, and then multiply it by the negative 3 to get negative 3 plus 2, which is negative 1. All right, so that fills in our entire table. We now have everything we need to graph the parabola, and we notice that we have the same values here and here, which gives us confidence that our graph is going to be accurate because our points are accurate. Okay, here we go. So in this instance, all of our x's are very negative, and so we're going to put our x-axis way over here on the right-hand side so that we can emphasize the negatives. And our y's are mostly negative, just a little bit of positive y. So we're going to write our graph like this. Most of what we're doing here is over in quadrant 3. All right, so here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 6 on the x, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, negative 10 on the y, and a little bit of positive y as well. We'll go up to positive 2. A little bit of positive x as well. We'll go up to positive 2 there as well. And now we should have a place for all of our points. All right, so let's start with negative 6, negative 10. That's 6 to the left and down 10, which would be about here. Negative 5, negative 1, 5 to the left and down 1. Negative 4, positive 2. Negative 3, negative 1. Negative 2, negative 10. Our a value is negative, which means our parabola opens down, and this point right here is our vertex. So from that vertex, we open down going through the points that we've plotted. From the vertex, we open down going through the points we've plotted, and that creates the graph of our parabola. Okay, axis of symmetry is the vertical dashed line through the vertex. Its equation is always the same. X equals h. But for this problem, h is negative 4. All right, so our vertex is stated here. It's the ordered pair negative 4, 2. Our axis of symmetry equation is x equals negative 4. We've drawn our parabola and we've drawn our axis of symmetry. That completes this problem.